Welcome to this practice. It is an intermediate level practice for pranayama and using a couple of asana that are also intermediate, such as ustrasana, camel pose. Along the way in this practice, you're going to be introduced to how to practice jalandhara bandha as a support for inhale suspension and on the way to exhale suspension. These kumbhakas are something you want to practice with sensitivity and grace. Pranayama can lead to a very quiet, very still mind, or it can cause agitation. So always practice within your own level of development and with great sensitivity to what is happening for you on any one day. Pranayama should not cause agitation unnecessarily. So as you chaperone your own practice, do that with the eye of a loving teacher towards your very self. Whenever practices, hi honey. There you go. Okay. And as always, if practices are helpful for you, please remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button for videos that are helpful to you. That is good feedback for me. And leave your comments and questions down below. Enjoy your practice. Namaste. Thank you for being here. We'll start our practice with a period of quiet sitting. And what I'd like to explore today in this practice is to get us deeper into understanding inhale suspension and then exhale suspension, and understand the role of the three parts of the torso for those suspensions. So please rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes. Lengthen up through your spine. Drop down through your hips and your sitting bones. You can gather your antennae, all the antennae of your attention, gather them back in to yourself, as if you were the fisherman pulling in all the lines on the boat. Sometimes we wake up in the morning, even for morning practice, and the antennae are already going hither and thither. So reel those in. Consolidate your attention and your energy so it's within you. And then as experienced yogis, begin your ujjayi breath in the subtle form of ujjayi. Listen for the sound and the felt sense of the breath to be in the back lower part of the throat, behind the sternoclavicular notch. As you listen to the sound of your breath, listen for any hint of over-efforting or coercing or overstriving. And see where you can make the breath more elegant, or sometimes I like to say more silky. Now begin to notice for yourself in the inhalation, if you're able to sense the upper part of the chest and collarbones also participating in the inhale. Initially, the inhale, you're going to sense the downward movement of the diaphragm, and that makes a little pressure on the pelvic floor. The lower belly expands, the side ribs will expand in the middle part of the breath, and then we go up to the heart and the collarbone. However, even at the beginning of the inhale, there's already a little lift for the collarbones or the upper ribs. So there's a freedom for your lungs to move. And rather than feeling like you have to lift the upper ribs to get to the upper third, they're already lifted. And they may rise a little bit more for the top of the inhale. And when you exhale, notice the way your exhale may begin at the pelvic floor. Potentially, you could think of that as the front hemisphere of the pelvic floor and then up the front line of your spine. And so with this breath, you're getting kind of the news of the inner body, your inner ecology, a reflection from your mind. How present is it able to be? Gathering all that you know about yoga and your years of dedication, respecting all that you just learned from a couple minutes of breath awareness. Let's bring the palms together at the heart. If you came to practice today feeling more tamasic or more rajasic or more sattvic, and we want to proceed with care. So the gunas in the course of your practice bring you to sattva. Okay, so we'll chant asatoma satgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityoma amritam gamaya. You can hear in the first line, asatoma satgamaya. The word sat happens twice, related to the sattva guna. Sat in this case means that which is true, that which is clear. In the second line, you hear tamasoma, tamas related to the tamas guna. In this case, it means the darkness or the heaviness of tamas that causes us to forget the jyoti, the light. Tamasoma jyotir gamaya. In the last line, you hear mrit, and that word refers to the finite, and you hear the word amrit, referring to the infinite. We say, asatoma satgamaya, tamasoma jyotir gamaya, mrit yoma amritam gamaya. Let's begin. Om asatoma satgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om asatoma satgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om asatoma satgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namah Hari. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands and please open your eyes. So in the practice that we're going to do, we're going to start with some things that open the upper chest, the neck and shoulders. And I'd like to also release a muscle called levator scapula. It's a powerful muscle that is often tight. And the word levator is related to the word elevator. So it elevates the scapula, takes them up. Right. So in this case, you want to sense that that muscle is not where you're lifting the upper collarbones and rib cage from. It's not that we're taking the whole upper thoracic region up like that. We're lifting the collarbones and the upper ribs here, but not the whole like upper torso. So take your right arm around behind the small of your back. You might hold your left elbow with your right hand. Tip your left ear down and bring your chin in towards your throat. Now, as you Drop the left ear and bring your chin in. On your inhale, try squeezing your right shoulder up. And then exhale and drop it down. And do that again. Inhale, squeeze up. Exhale, drop down. Inhale, squeeze up. And exhale, drop down. And as your right shoulder drops down, also set it back if you haven't yet. With your chin close to your right collarbone, lengthen the back of your neck, and then lift the right collarbone up towards your chin. And see if you might get an inhale that moves from the base of the belly up to the mid-torso, and you might even think of it as the upper right side chest. And then exhale. It's like you're coming from underneath to stretch the myofascial system underneath and to give a little space to the intercostal muscles. Let's bring the head up to center, relax your right arm, wrap the left arm around behind. You might hold your right elbow if you can reach it. Drop your right ear down, bring your chin in towards your left collarbone. With the inhale, squeeze your left shoulder up. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, pull up. Exhale, lower down. And think of the inhale again as it's coming up, like you're lifting the upper left chest at the top of your inhalation. And then exhale, drop the left shoulder down, and let's keep the chin close to the left collarbone. And now you can sense the breath lifting the upper left chest without the shoulder going up. And do that one more time. And then exhale, float your head back up to center. Notice any change in the feeling tone of your mind, right? Or your mood, or where the breath has access. And so another way to get into the levator scapula is to bring, and that was actually not your levator scapula specifically, but this is raise your right arm up and then bend your right elbow and place your hand on your shoulder blade to the best of your ability. You take the left hand up and over. You're going to hold your elbow, rotate your head to your left, and then bring your chin down towards your left collarbone. So by holding your right elbow up with your left hand, what's happening is when you raise your arm overhead, you've shifted the shoulder blade, its rotation on your upper back. So if you now have the capacity to put your right thumb on the top of that shoulder blade between your neck and your shoulder, then you're going to pull down on that very spot. And there might be a tender spot right there. I have a trigger point there. So as you're gazing down with your chin and your eyes, press down on the shoulder blade right there. Now, right where your thumb is, if you've got it there, on the inhale, you can pull the shoulder blade up into your thumb. It's a contraction. And then exhale and drop it down. And do that again. Inhale, pull it up. So you're contracting the muscle that you're going to release on the exhale. Let's do that one more time. Now see if you can stay for the stretch, just a few luxurious breath cycles. And on the inhale, might it be possible that you breathe from the base of the belly to the mid-torso and into your upper right chest? And then release, and notice if your head feels like it might be floating a little bit, and it might feel different on the right versus on the left. Okay. Take the left arm up. All that circulation in there is just so wonderful for your neck. So left arm up, bend your left elbow, reach over with your right hand. See if you can get your thumb in there. So I know you can't see my thumb. It goes right here on the shoulder blade, right? So you can place it there and press down with your thumb. Rotate your head to your right, bring your chin down towards your right collarbone. And as you inhale, you can pull up with the shoulder blade. So that's a contraction on purpose. Exhale, drop it down. Again, twice more. Okay, once more. And then see if you can stay with the stretch for a few moments where you're really relaxing the shoulder blade down. Your thumb can help to keep it down kindly. And see if the inhale can lift the upper left chest. Starting at the bottom of the inhale, move upwards thoughtfully. And then let's exhale and release that one as well. And take a few moments to notice if your head feels like it's floating or you have like a longer neck or your shoulders are not quite so close to your ears. Okay, let's take it into pranayama now so that this region of your body can receive the inhale at the top, the upper third of the inhale. And to give your body a chance to feel comfortable with the suspensions, we'll do a little blowing off practice. Then we'll come into the suspension time. And we'll be looking at exhale suspension when we go down to the floor. I'm sitting on a physio ball right now. So when I say go down to the floor, it means back there where my other seat is. Okay, so place your hand out over your knees, sit up nice and tall. And we'll do a round of Kapalabhati. We'll do 30 brisk exhales. It's not a lot. 30 is a doable amount. And then we'll exhale completely. We'll inhale and bring the breath up for suspension. During suspension, I would like you to use your jalandhara bandha. So for that to happen, if you think of the chin coming in and down at the same time, when you do that with your head, the muscle right here, the SCM, you're going to have a sense of the lift of the collarbone. So this whole action is like a circuit together. Jalandhara bandha, the collarbones do come up to meet the chin. The chin does come down, and the shoulder blades, as a result, are going down the back as well. Right, so keeping that in mind, you can close your eyes. We'll do 30 rapid exhales. Exhale completely. Inhale slowly. Move towards your jalandhara bandha to get the upper third of the inhale. Release the bandhas and exhale smoothly. Try that again. So remember the upper third of the inhale, you're going to be already moving towards jalandhara bandha. It's already happening. So, and it's because the breath is climbing up. You could think of it like incense smoke. It's moving through the body in this really beautiful way. Okay, so 30 rapid exhales. Exhale completely. Inhale smoothly. Release the exhale after releasing the bandhas. But during these suspensions, I'd like you to imagine that the mind becomes very still, as if it were a candle flame sitting in the heart. And you're holding the jalandhara bandha, and the upper chest is full with the breath, and the candle gets very still. The mind is not moving. Let's do it once more. This time we'll double the length of the exhale, so we'll do 60. Of course, you can maintain 30 if that's what your practice benefits from. And you want to exhale completely. Inhale slowly and completely. Release the bandhas and exhale in your own timing. We'll do anuloma viloma pranayama with ujjayi breathing. So you'll have inhale left nostril, no ujjayi during that kind of breath. And then we'll have exhale ujjayi, we'll inhale ujjayi, and then we'll exhale right nostril, no ujjayi during the one nostril breath. Okay, so it's inhale left, exhale both, inhale both, exhale right, and on this both, it's ujjayi breathing. So you'll sense the throat for ujjayi, and you'll sense the back of the sinuses for nadi shodhana. Anuloma viloma is another word for that. You bring the right hand like this. Let's close the right nostril. Inhale slowly on the left. You want to sense the upper part of the inhale, creating a little jalandhara bandha already. So then your throat is prepared for ujjayi. Exhale both nostrils. In your own timing, you'll inhale ujjayi with both nostrils. And then exhale right nostril, no ujjayi breath. And then inhale right to continue. And again, no ujjayi when it's just one nostril. Please proceed at your own pace. Finish with your next exhale through the left nostril. Invite your mind to rest if you finish the practice. The breath may be almost imperceptible, very subtle. Let your mind rest in the stillness. And we're going to transition up to standing. So please put aside what you don't need to come up to stand. So in standing practice now, we're going to be focusing again on the neck and shoulders. So I'm going to ask you to reach back, clasp your hands, roll the shoulders back, give a really strong squeeze of the shoulders back. Take the heart forward. It can be like this. Right, so you can imagine that that's already preparation for Setubandhasana, Sarvangasana, Halasana, all those things. So let's place the feet a little wider than hip distance. Make the legs strong, and please come forward and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades up towards your hips. Release your head, make a lot of space for your neck, please. As you squeeze the arms overhead, energize your legs, and if necessary, bend your knees to support yourself in coming into a forward bend that's quite comfortable. Keep the shoulder blade squeezing up towards your waistband, up towards your hips. And as you allow the head to relax down, see if you might be able to rotate your nose to your right. And then can you also rotate your head to your left? Go slowly between the two options. The comfort level that you have with this should determine how far you go, right? You're not trying to overpower your neck in this position. Let's go one more time to the left, please. Return to center. And then slide your shoulders back, raise your arms, raise your torso, rise up to standing, release the clasp of your arm. Okay. So extra circulation in the neck and shoulders and the space also between your shoulder blades. I hope you can feel that there. Take a wide stance, okay, with your feet parallel. Great, go ahead and come forward and down to prasarita padottanasana. Place your fingers on the floor between your feet. And then on the inhalation, glide your heart and your spine forward, come up to your fingertips, open the throat, almost like you're doing a cow pose spine. And then exhale and bow towards your legs like a cat pose spine. Inhale slowly so you can sense the breath kind of unfolding, vertebrae by vertebrae. And exhale to bow towards your legs. Go all the way to the end of the exhale with enough tone that you don't feel breathless, but you can sense the squeeze of the lower belly. That squeeze at the end of the exhale, I want you to get very comfortable with that. So as you're coming towards the end of the exhale, don't make it more forceful like you're going to clench your teeth. But think of that squeeze as something that your body enjoys for a moment, like you're hugging the deep inner belly. Now walk your hands forward, and as they stretch out in front of you, we're not going to be able to move the torso quite so much because we've changed our position here, but I'd like you to sense still that on the inhale, there's an opening for your spine, and we're going to focus on the exhale towards the end of that exhale squeeze. So exhale slowly. Don't make the exhale extra slow or extra long because you might start feeling breathless, but exhale exhale in a patient manner and move towards the end of the exhale with a healthy sense of the squeeze of the lower belly. Notice how you begin your inhale smoothly from that exhale squeeze. And the exhale squeeze should not have any sense that you're clenching your teeth or your toes or anything like that. It's just that you're firmly squeezing the lower belly. Now, the next time that you go to the exhale squeeze, go ahead and resist inhaling. And just after the exhale squeeze, relax all the muscles that made the exhale squeeze without any inhalation. And then tone your exhale muscles again and proceed with your smooth inhale. And let's try that one more time. So you're going to go to the end of the exhale. It's a healthy, generous squeeze of the lower belly. Without inhaling, relax your exhale muscles. There'll be a moment of suction in the inner belly. And then you're going to gently squeeze the exhale muscles again before you inhale. Please walk your hands back towards your feet. Reach around and clasp your hands at the small of your back. And let's one more time, roll the shoulders open. In this position with your hands on your arms, inhale, rise up to standing. Okay, take the shoulders back, lift your chest and your heart, come into a little standing back bend, open your throat. And then exhale and release. Let's let that go. Okay, here I'd like you to have 2 blocks and a chair. And I think you're going to want a blanket for your chair also. So let's get those things. So 2 blocks, a blanket, and a chair. Okay, so we're going to place the chair like this alongside of your mat. Let's put a blanket on the chair seat like this. Okay, and then you've got your 2 blocks. So you're going to sit on these like a little bench. Let me tie my hair back off my face. Okay, so when you sit like this now, I want you to place yourself so that you are close enough or far enough from the chair, and it depends on the length of your torso, but you're close enough or far enough that the bottom corners of your shoulder blades are on the edge of the chair. When you pick up your head, the shoulder blades are on the chair seat. I'm sorry, when you pick up your hips, not your head. Walk your feet out like you're doing reverse table pose, and then hold the upper back of the chair so your thumbs are going to point out. With the elbows in your picture frame, so your elbows don't go wide apart left to right. Firmly press your shoulders down against the chair seat. And then keep the upper back stable right there. As you start to lower your hips down, notice the moment that your chin may start popping up towards the ceiling. That would be the place where you either pause and recalibrate so the chin does not poke up, or that's your threshold. That's where you pause. One way that you might determine for yourself how deeply down do your hips go is, does your chin pop up? But a second way is, could you maintain an ujjayi breath in this position? Is your throat able to sustain that right now? And then inhale, raise your hips up. So as they're coming up, you're going to kind of be in reverse table pose again. And then let's take the hands and hold the chair seat. You're going to reach between the upper back of the chair and the seat of the chair to hold the back of the seat of the chair. If possible, walk your hands out so that you've got them on the wide edge of the chair seat and your thumbs can be on the outside. And then again, can you maintain your ujjayi breath as you lower your hips down? Resist the urge for your chin to pop up, and do keep your shoulders firmly grounded on the chair seat. So as you're dropping your hips down, you do want the upper back to be very stable, and it's not important that your hips make it back to the blocks. But I do want you to keep your throat, the back of the throat should sound like ujjayi breathing, and the front of the neck has enough tone that your chin is not popping up towards the ceiling. And we're going to inhale, raise the hips up, press down into both heels. As you come up, you're going to be kind of in reverse table pose. Go ahead and release your hands from the chair seat. Clasp your hands behind your head. Make sure that your chair is stable, and then lower your hips down to your blocks and come up to, let's come up to spinal flexion. So come up to like a variation on malasana. Bring your arms over your knees. Relax the weight of your head. And see how the breath feels. What happens if you breathe into the back hemisphere of your body right now? Okay, and then please release from there. So that's an adventure in your upper back, right? We want to be respectful of the upper back. It also might be carrying quite a bit of, let's say, tension from life events like sitting at your desk, moving boxes, driving your car, whatever, gardening, which is starting up this time of year again. So now we're going to use the chair and the blanket, and we'll do a little Surya Namaskar variation so that we can have the benefit of the circulation of Surya Namaskar before we look at exhale suspension more deeply. So let's put the blanket for the knees to be padded. You don't need your blocks right now. If you put the knees like this, so you know where you are on the chair, and then place your hands, this is where you're going to start with your plank pose. Okay, in plank pose, lift the base of your skull. So the front of the throat again is toned. We don't want to think of tight. It's not like you're trying to flatten the back of the neck, but we do want to counter that sort of computer head position that many people have. And then inhale, slide back with your hips, downward facing dog pose with the chair. Okay, exhale, step your right foot forward to the outside of the chair. Touch the left knee down. Lift your heart. Zip the pubic bone up towards the belly button. Inhale, raise your arms. And then exhale, hands down to the chair seat. Press into your right foot. Inhale, straighten your left leg. And then inhale, raise up. And exhale, step to plank pose. Hello, Nakula. Inhale, reach back, downward dog pose. Okay, exhale, Bring your right knee down, left foot forward. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, touch the chair seat, press into your left heel. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Okay, let's rise up with the next in-breath. And exhale, step to plank pose. Inhale, downward dog pose. Okay, exhale, right foot forward, keep the left knee lifted. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, touch the left knee down to the blanket. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, plank pose. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale to rise. Exhale, touch the right knee down. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, plank pose. Inhale, downward dog pose. Okay, again, exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, left knee down. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, plank pose. Inhale, downward dog. One more time through. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale to rise. Okay, exhale, right knee down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, hands to your chair seat, plank pose. Okay, inhale, downward dog pose. Now let's exhale and come forward and down with both knees. Touch them to the blanket and come up on your high knees like this. We call these the high knees. So just to give you a little moment, Nakula is behind the computer at risk of knocking over the camera. Nakula? Hi. Thank you for coming when requested. Thank you. Okay, so on the high knees, tuck your toes under. You can't see my toes because he's in the way. Tuck the toes under. Reach back with your hands and put the fingers so that they go up the back of the pelvis like this. Right, so versus going down, the finger's going to go up. So place them both and then pull down on the skin of the sacrum and the top of the ilium. So that downward pull, you're going to lift the inner body up. And then roll the shoulders back. Without pushing your hips forward, lift your heart up. Squeeze the shoulders and the elbows both back. And then inhale, raise up high onto your knees again. And release. You can touch the hips down to the heels. Now we're going to turn ourselves around in relationship to the chair, the blanket, and we're going to add a couple of blocks. We don't know if we need them, but we're about to find out. Okay, so turn yourself about. Place your knees on the blanket on the other side. Now you don't want to knock the blocks over, but I want you to be able to use the edge of the chair here. So when you place your hands at first, this is very familiar, we just did it. And then we're going to walk the hands back. And we're first looking at this action right through here to really understand the shoulders in relationship to camel pose. I'm looking at you on my other monitor over here because I have you on, this is a mirror on this wall so I can see you. When I'm talking to you, I'm actually looking at you. Okay, so when you do this, start with the hands here. Root down with your shins. Do not take the hips forward, so your thighs are going to stay vertical to your knees. Roll the shoulders back. And then see, before you get to the depth of your capacity there, reach back with your thumbs to the seat of the chair. And as you roll the shoulders back, raise your heart up. Press down with your thumbs or your hands on the chair seat. Lift up with the chest and the heart and the collarbones. And then exhale and come up. And watch out for hitting your own chair, so scoot your knees forward and then take a seat, like virasana. What are those blocks for? You might be wondering. We're well past spring equinox, but it's been sleeting and hailing lightly in Portland, so it doesn't really feel like spring, but this is a spring pose that we're doing. It's called Ustrasana, and it's such a good pose for pranayama to give us a greater capacity for pranayama. So what are those blocks for? We're going to be coming down. My chair's too far away. We're going to be coming down, and we can walk down the legs of the chair on the outside. So now the blocks are there, and mine magically support my head at just the right height. So my thumbs are on the inside of the chair legs, the fingers are on the outsides, and you want to have it be a pose that you can easily pull up from. You're not going to go crooked to go down or to go up. So the height of the blocks, you might need 4 or 5 blocks. I once had a student, I'm very endeared by the student, and he used like 8 blocks because he had them stacked flat like that. Okay, so make a choice there that's going to support you. If you need more blocks and you don't have them yet, you could try stacking some blankets on the chair seat and then blocks on top of that. Okay, hands to the hips. Pull down against the back of the pelvis. Raise up with your chest and your heart. And then reach for your thumbs to know where the chair seat is. Before dropping your head back, you're going to walk the hands back. You've got the sides of the chair legs. Place your thumbs facing down on the chair legs and squeeze the shoulders back. It's so nice to have something to hold on to with the hands. So your shoulders can be more empowered to go back and the heart more empowered to go up. Please do support your head. It should not feel like it's hanging backwards, like limply, but supported by the 2 blocks. And then are you able to breathe from the low pelvis to the mid-torso and up into your heart? Is there some ujjayi breath available to you? And then with an exhale, press down through your shins, rise up through your chest and your heart. And again, walk forward with your knees so you don't run into your chair and come into Vajrasana. In this Vajrasana, if you walk your shins forward, your hips are a little down lower and the knees and hips might actually be level. That's the nice way to drop into Apanavayu. Okay, let's reach about for one of the blocks. You might need 2 blocks. That will be okay. You can get them both if you need them. And then come forward. In this child's pose, we have the block because the knees are higher. The hips are a little bit lower. Okay, and you are ready to explore this thing called exhale suspension. And what we need now is not the blanket, but 2 blocks. And this is picking up from a practice we did about a week ago on exhale suspension and 3-part breathing. If you want to see that practice on YouTube, it's going to be linked here above my hand once this video gets posted. So we'll put 1 block on the medium and 1 block on the flat for those people for whom upper back flexibility is limited. If you do have more flexibility, you can put 1 block on the medium and 1 block on the tall. That means that you're going to have a little higher reach here. Okay, so when you lie back, the first block is for your shoulder blades. The second block is for your head. Put the arms up. And you can reach to hold the outside of the chair, like I'm doing right here. I'm up near the chair seat. But you also could reach to hold, for some people, they have longer arms than I have. I can't even show you. Some people can hold the next leg of the chair back there. That's pretty far for me to reach. If I wanted to bring my chair closer, I could. You have to just be aware of, I still can't hardly reach the next leg of the chair. So do I want this chair on my eyebrows? I don't. So based on your capacity, like I can hardly get it, but I'm close enough to satisfy my urge right now. Okay, now the thing is with the arms overhead here, scoot your hips away and let the spine be extra long. Notice that the head is higher than the heart. So your throat is already available for jalandhara bandha. And please close your eyes now. And so we're going to return to noticing the breath covering all 3 regions, especially watch your inhale. You inhale from the belly, the base of the pelvis, and then to the mid-abdomen, lateral ribs, and then up into your heart and your collarbones. You might remind yourself that the collarbones will float up for the inhale to have enough space, and that might feel to you like the collarbones are coming towards your chin, which is appropriate. Now we're going to begin to include how you used an exhale squeeze a little bit ago. But at the end of this exhale, don't make the squeeze so intense that you're like curling your body into a fist. You're not pouting or making a fist right now. But I would like you to squeeze the exhale at the end, and then in a very calm fashion, without inhaling, relax your exhale muscles and see if the hollowing or the suction is a place where you could allow your mind to get very still. Might you be able to contact that hollow space with comfort and generosity? And then you will tone the abdominal muscles before you inhale again. Don't make yourself breathless at any point, please. At the end of one of your inhalations, go ahead and release your arms out to the sides. If you snug your chair up towards your head, you might move it backwards and take the arms out to the side. Okay, let's rise up to sitting. We don't need the 2 blocks. Go ahead and take a seat for a moment on a blanket. I am coming up to Shavasana, don't fear. Okay. Rest your hands out over your knees. Close your eyes. And drop your mind into your body and particularly into your heart. The breath may again feel almost imperceptible. Let's take this beautiful energy and let it soak into the body more deeply by coming to Shavasana. And for this morning Shavasana, I'm going to recommend that you take your blanket and make it a long fold like this. So you'll be sitting on the front edge here and then lying back. Considering we're going to put our feet up on the chair, a way to get into position is like this. You lay down close to and then roll onto your blanket. And then take the arms out to the side. The narrowness of the blanket just allows the work we did with the shoulders to kind of continue because your shoulders can drop back down towards the floor. And you're welcome to close your eyes. And again, the breath might feel almost imperceptible. May your mind find some stillness in there. In this Shavasana, allow the mind to be relatively still. That is your narrative mind. You might be able to observe your narrative mind from your witness mind. One of the beautiful things about
breath suspensions as we're learning them, that it quiets the mind. It has the capacity to help your mind become still, but also vital. Here to find to rest. It's being lovingly observed by your witness mind. Moment to moment, you can stay with the witness, noticing the possibility of stillness for your thinking mind. Gently roll your head side to side. And bring your knees towards your chest. Roll to one side. Come up to sitting. Talking earlier about the Sunday, Monday shawl. Now you can see it better. Sunday, Monday. That's how they advertise them on the street vendors in India. Sunday, Monday shawl. Sunday, Monday. Sunday, Monday over here. Whatever day it is, you can wear your Sunday, Monday shawl. Please come to a comfortable seat. Place your hands in your lap as you like, and let's see if the effect of the pranayama, in fact, you do sense that your mind, your narrative mind, can rest, and your witness mind can observe that. Raise your hands to your heart. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste.
Thank you all for being here for the practice. So before you go, he just jumped up to my shoulder. So before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave us some comments down below. We look forward to hearing from you. This is Nakula. He has a little soul patch. This is he's so loving. Okay, honey. Where are you going? Where are you going now? Hmm? Okay, enjoy your practice, everyone.